Good morning. Let me change this right away. There we go. Good morning. Welcome to Reading the Science of Mind in 1 Year. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader of the Center for Spiritual Living Common Ground in Central Maryland. Today is June 16th. Good morning, Jenna. So, what we do is we listen to the reading, we share perspectives, we meditate, and we close out with a spiritual mind treatment, also known as an affirmative prayer. So let's get started.
Reading for June 16th, Science of Mind, A Philosophy, a Faith, a Way of Life by Ernest Holmes. Reading from page 225, paragraph 2, through page 226, paragraph 2, using inclusive language. Headache. Confused, worried, anxious, tense thoughts can produce a congestion in the head. Those who worry over trifles and think they are subject to the conditions which surround them often suffer from headaches, but a realization of the vitalizing power of spirit through the entire body quickly removes tension and brings a sense of relaxation to the body. Back of nearly every discord or disorder, there is some subjective complex or mental knot that needs to be untied, generally some suppressed emotion, which perhaps is centered around the affections, the likes and dislikes, the loves and passions, and everything which goes with them. These knots must be untied, and it is the business of the practitioner to untie them. A treatment for peace alone often brings quick results when one is suffering from headache. If one can stop long enough to realize infinite intelligence within me lifts me out of worry, confusion, and doubt, many times nothing else is necessary. And a safe rule for the prevention of headache is thinking correctly. Think only whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honorable, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report. Following is a suggested treatment. There is neither congestion nor confusion in spirit, and this person is spiritual. There is neither ache nor pain in the consciousness of God as it flows through people. All ideas are assimilated, find perfect expression in joy through the life-giving source which cannot be congested, retarded, nor strained. Ideas are comprehended fully and completely. Their spiritual significance is assimilated, and there is no strain as they pass into self-expression. The flow of life force to the brain centers is always unretarded, sufficient, and sustained.
I removed myself. There we are. Removed the wrong thing. There we go. Um, so I want to first address the use of the word retarded. In the context of which Holmes is using it, it simply means slowed down, thwarted, blocked, um, in any way diminished. That's all the use of that word is referring to. And I love that he talks about in general or most, um, many times, nothing else is necessary. Um, why? Because by not speaking in absolutes, he's communicating that this is the best I know. There may be other reasons. Sometimes biology is the reason for the headache. Biology alone is the reason for the headache. That's why in Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes said that, God consciousness is in the pill and the prayer, because we don't ignore the physical. We don't, um, what's the word I'm looking for? We don't condemn or criticize medical care. We just take a deeper, broader look at what's happening here, because oftentimes the physical is the manifestation of something mental. That's just how the mind body connection works. Um, and, Holmes is carrying forward actually what Phineas Parkhurst Quimby identified when he was doing hypnotism, which was called mesmerism at the time. And he really noticed that mind body connection. And it was Quimby that brought that into metaphysics. And Holmes is just detailing it out, helping us sort out these things. And I love the treatment that he offers, because he's teaching denials in these treatments. Um, because sometimes we have to use denials to get to what's true. Sometimes we have to clear away what it's not in order to really lean into what it is. Uh, and so use the words that work for you. If you've got, you know, tension, there is no tension in God. There is no tension in spirit. And I am that in form, right? So there is no tension in my spiritual beingness. We know biologically that the environment we create for ourselves impacts how they behave. If you want a really good, in depth understanding of that, I highly recommend Bruce Lipton's book, The Biology of Belief. It's quite lovely. It's a very easy read. Um, and it breaks down the physical environment that we're creating through our mental processes really, really well. So you might want to check that out. Ultimately, treat from that place, because treat from that place of knowing what the stress is about that is likely causing your headache. Because you know what you're thinking about, you know what you're stressing about. Okay? It may be fear, it may be a lesser level of fear that we call anxiety, it may be anger, it might be lots of things. But just in the beginning of the treatment, in the beginning of that third step, remind yourself that all of those negatives, all of those senses of separation, those are man-made. Those don't really exist in spirit. They separate us from our spirit. And so we get to not deny their presence, deny that they have any power of their own, and recognize they only have the power that we give them. Then we can speak our word, taking our power back, releasing all of those things so that we can be free from those things and free from the headache that is resulting. So that's all I have to share. If you have anything, you're welcome to put it in the comments as always. And I'm going to take us into our time of meditation is simply 5 minutes of practice of being present with whatever comes. And then I will close us out with a spiritual mind treatment, also known as an affirmative prayer. Here we go. So, breathing into this moment, I recognize one power everywhere present. It is the self-existent substance of all creation. It is life expressing. It is creation expressing. One power everywhere present. Known by many, many names. God, the great mystery, higher power, the infinite, the universe. I know it to be each of these things and so much more. It is that unnameable allness, that unnameable infinite possibility, that unnamableness, indefinable, unlimited. And the beauty is, I don't need to name it to sense its presence, to experience its presence. Simply to be open to what is, open to the substance of which I am made. One power, one substance. So I must be made out of that power and substance. It must be the essence and makeup of my being. Moved by a desire of creation to experience itself. This life that I call mine. I moved from the formless to the formed. And I am that substance expressing. And so all that it is, that creative process, that power, is my power. I am a divine, one of a kind, on purpose, portal of its beingness. So I live, move, and have my being in this world, in its beingness, and it in mine. Inseparable. What is true of me is true of all creation. And so everywhere I look, everything I hear, everything I see, everything I taste, touch, smell, everything that I experience is this one infinite being expressing itself in the multiplicity of form. No two alike by design, and not 1 ounce of this infinite substance used up in the multiplicity of its expressions of itself. Never used up, rather expanded by its continuous expressions of itself, driven only by the desire to experience. Each and every physical being infused with the power of choice, free will, true free will, that simply gets to feel and sense that desire within them to create, to express, and to use that and to follow that in grace, free of any guilt, shame, or blame. The process of expressing desire, experiencing that, and choosing again. This is the beauty and the simplicity of life expressing as each of us. And so in that absolute freedom, there is no tension, there is no restriction, there is no guilt, shame, or blame, there is no finger pointing. There's only the activity of desire to express, curiosity to be. There is only a divine yes. Only the perfect experience of that expressed desire. And then a desire to choose again. All of that free from any tension. So the very idea of a headache produced by thought that is restrictive is made up. It's just made up. Because there is nothing in the substance of creation or the activity of creation that is restrictive. It just isn't. So I can breathe into, claim, and affirm the wholeness of my being. That every joint in my body moves in a perfect flow. Every cell in the physical body of every beingness is attending to its right and perfect purpose. That the blood in the veins of each and every human flows freely, carrying that life-giving oxygen exactly where it needs to be in every organ. That there is a recognition within each of us that we already are, always have been, can only be whole, perfect, and complete at the essence of our being. And that our focus and our attention returns over and over again to that truth, asking only, how shall I express in this moment? Activity of this creative process simply says yes. That aspect of one, the doer, that only knows yes, knows nothing about what it's saying yes to or why it's yes. It's always said so. Yes, it is done. Yes, to each and every one, the same regardless of what is being presented. The yes is the same, operates in a lawful, predictable way to each and every request by each and every person, without discrimination, without filtration. Yes. So I know that the word spoken this morning is already done, already complete. And so I celebrate. And one of the ways I celebrate is to let go, is to live into a greater experience and expression of what I call faith. The evidence of things hoped for. know that it's already done is to release any effort to control it and to receive all of the cues of participation and say yes to being an active participant in the whole of life. So I let go. I say yes. I move into this day awake, intentional, serving the harmonious operation of one. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.